Now for this example here, we're going to be looking at your guys' data. These are the numbers you gave me when I asked you how many hours a week are you going to be working while you're taking our course. First thing to notice is that there's a lot of variation. That is, our numbers go from 1.5 hours all the way up to 40, which means there's a lot of different people, or a lot of different work situations, I should say, going on with the students taking our course. Now our goal here is to go ahead and find the quartiles, and so when we go to find the quartiles, the first thing we always find is Q2. Q2 is the median. It's the 50th percentile, and so what we need to do to find Q2 is just go ahead and actually find the median. We can find the median by first of all figuring out how many numbers we have here. In this case, we have 15 different entries. If I have 15 different entries, that means I can find Q2 by looking at its position. Remember, to find the position of the median, I always take n plus 1 divided by 2, which will be 16 divided by 2, or 8. This tells me that my median is the 8th number n. So counting them here, my median is at 25. Once I've gone ahead and found my median, or Q2, the next step is to go ahead and find my other quartiles. So Q2 is step 1. Step 2 will be finding Q1. Q1 is the 25th percentile. In reality, all this does is find us the median of the bottom half. Now, this is really important, and that is, when I found Q2, it was an actual number, right? That is, this 25 here was the literal center of my data. That happened because I had an odd number of entries. Because 25 was actually selected, this is not included when I go to find Q1 or Q2. Now, there might be a textbook somewhere that tells you otherwise, but it's commonly understood that when Q2, or the median, is considered an actual number, when I have a literal center of my data, it's not included in the bottom or the top half. Now, keeping that in mind, let's think about this here. I started with 15 numbers. I got rid of the 25 in the middle, which means I have 14 numbers now. And then half of them are below and half of them are above, which means if I had 14 numbers, there are going to be exactly 7 numbers in this bottom half here. The nice part of this is if I know how many numbers are in the bottom half, then all I have to do is find the position again. That is, I know I can find the center by taking n plus 1 divided by 2. Well, there are 7 numbers in the bottom half, so 7 plus 1 is 8 divided by 2, or gives me 4. This means Q1, which is the center of my bottom half, will be the 4th number in on that bottom half. Counting in, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 12 right here is Q1. So once again, what I did, I said, okay, I had 15 numbers in total, got rid of the center one, so I got 14, divided in 2 gives me 7 in the bottom half, which gives me Q1 is in 7 plus 1 divided by 2, or the 4th position. Now I'm going to be honest here, there's kind of an easier way to do that when we have a small data set, and that is I also could have crossed off to the center. So counting in here, I could have crossed 1 on each side, 1 on each side, 1 on each side, and ta-da, I get exactly the same thing. Third step is to go ahead and find Q3. When I go to find Q3, I do the same idea. That is, I now have 7 numbers in the top half, which means my median is going to be the 4th number in. So crossing off, starting here. Remember, don't include the center one. 25, 30, 30. 4th number is 35. I could also do that by crossing off to get to the center. Now notice that once again, once I found Q1, it was the 4th number in. The exact same purpose is going to happen on the top. It'll be the 4th number in for Q3. What's nice about this is now I have all my information. Q1 is 12, Q2 is 25, Q3 is 35. What's interesting here is between Q1 and Q3, it's about 50% of our class, which tells me that about 50% of our class is working somewhere between 12 and 35 hours. If I want to go ahead and add one more step in here, I can add in a little bit more information. This gives us what's called the 5-number summary. And the 5-number summary is the minimum, which for us is 1.5, Q1, which is 12, Q2, which is 25, Q3, which is 35, and the maximum, which is 40. And this number summary then tells me, okay, in reality, you guys are between 1.5 and 40 hours, but the middle 50% of you are between 12 and 35. So it kind of gives me a complete summary of my data.